Okay, so you want to build a website, but you have to choose a domain name. What are you going to call your website or your online presence? But what even is a domain name, right? So in this video, I'm going to take it back to the basics and we're going to talk about what is a domain name. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm 𝗦𝗲𝗍 and I teach digital marketing to DIYers. So on this channel, I talk about domain names and SEO and web design and everything in between. So if I provide you with value, would you please consider subscribing to this channel? All you have to do is underneath this video, hit the little subscribe icon. You'll also have the opportunity to ring a little bell, and so that way you can get notifications when I make a new video. You can always leave me a thumbs up and things like that. But also at the end of this video, if you watch it all the way through, there's actually a little circle of me. You can just punch me right in the nose and you can subscribe that way too. So in this video, we're talking about what is a domain name. So a domain name is what you're going to call your website. You know, what are you going to tell people to visit? Okay. So maybe like me, like my name is 𝗦𝗲𝗍, and because my ideas and things might change in the future, but I wanted to have something that's about me. You know, and I've had problems with this myself. Like, do I go by this name? My last name's hard to pronounce. So I'm like, do I go by this person, that person? Do I do a fake name or whatever? I'm like, I'm just going to be me and roll the dice on it. Okay. But it's one of those things where if you have a hard to pronounce name, you might decide to go with something else. If you have a hard to pronounce business or maybe a domain name's taken already, you might be trying to struggle. But basically a domain name is something that you're going to tell somebody that they're going to, you know, remember that they're going to visit your website about. Okay. So I tell people, like, say you're in an elevator and somebody next to you has some cool artwork, you know, they're like tatted up. Okay. So you got cool tattoos. They look awesome. And you're like, oh man, you know, I mean, I'd love to get your business card. And people are like, hey, we don't do business cards anymore. We do websites, you know? And you're like, oh, okay. What do I visit? And they say, well, it's, you know, 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 tattooRus.com, and you're like, okay, great, I can remember that. Okay. And so that's what you're trying to think of when you're thinking about a domain name. Is it going to be, are you your own business? Okay. Are you a solopreneur? Do you own a bigger business? So do you want to not be the person? Do you want the business to be the domain name? Okay. So if you're, ABC Plumbing or whatever, is that what you want your website to be? Okay. So you got to kind of think about different names, but it gets complicated because imagine how many businesses, how many people out there in the world, somebody else may already have your name and now you can't get it. And so in another video, I'm going to talk about how to choose a domain name, and I'll put a description, or in the description of this video, I'll give a link to that video. But also you can watch this playlist and I'll touch on that, too. But it's one of those things where, just because you might have a great idea, somebody else might have already have it, may have already have it too. Well, I like to look at a domain name like a piece of land, okay? And you want to build your house, meaning your website and everything on top of this piece of land. But if somebody buys that piece of land and you can't build on top of their house and things like that too, right? So it's one of those things, you got to look at a domain name like a piece of land. And it's very important, if you have a great idea, to get that piece of land as soon as you can. So to answer the question, what is a domain name? A domain name is what you're going to tell somebody to visit your website. Again, like for me, 𝗦𝗲𝗂𝗏.com, it's me, it's my website, my ideas, my opinions, things like that. People can visit it, okay? They can go to 𝗦𝗲𝗂𝗏𝗏.com, okay? Look at Facebook, okay? Facebook.com, that's their domain name. So if Mark Zuckerberg was in a, elevator with somebody, they're like, hey, what do you do? Like, oh, I just run a, business, And they're like, okay, well, what's your, do you have a business card? And he's like, I don't do business cards. Okay, well, how do I get to your website to learn more about you? Oh, just visit facebook.com. And I'm sure he probably has something different, but you know what I mean? So if you, do something, you would tell somebody to visit this domain name to visit your website. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any questions about domain names, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comment section of this video. And again, don't forget to subscribe. It means so much to me. You can hit my little face icon and go ahead and subscribe. It means so much to me, especially if I provide you with value. But no matter what, I hope that you find success online, offline, and in your life. Take care.